Games these days are getting bigger and longer, and despite what people might say, bigger isn't always better. There are many games with hundreds of hours of repetitive content. Go here, climb the tower, take down the camp. Okay, now what? Go here, climb this other tower, take out this other camp. Games like this just get repetitive and boring. So, with that being said, I'm Paddy from Gamerscore, and here are 10 games you can play for hundreds of hours and still have fun. Number 10, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is one of the super rare instances where a game comes out a broken, boring mess. The content didn't live up to what was advertised, and it seemed like the game was doomed once people caught wind of how bad it was. The game was released back in 2016 and was missing multiplayer, space battles, and large-scale ecosystems. Yes, the procedurally generated planets were as impressive, but the universe was vast, empty, and boring. It had major performance issues, especially on PC, with massive loading times and a poor frame rate. The game was simply repetitive, boring, and definitely not as advertised. Now, this isn't rare, especially now. This seems to happen more often than not. The thing that is rare is the developers at Hello Games turned the game completely around and made it into one of the most fun and addictive games ever made. From exploring an almost infinite procedurally generated universe with an almost endless number of planets, each with their own atmosphere, climate, plants, and animals. From mining resources to crafting technology upgrades, building ships, and building bases. I have spent hundreds of hours in this game just building a base. There has been a constant stream of updates and content from the developers, and Hello Games really turned this game around. The steady stream of new content keeps the game fresh and engaging. There is also multiplayer, allowing you to explore the universe with friends or meet new people along the way. You never really run out of things to do in this game, and if you haven't tried it, I really recommend you do. Now, down at number 9, we have Stardew Valley. On the surface it looks like a pixelated farming simulator, but it's so much more. You play as someone who has just inherited the rundown farm from a dead relative, and you move to Stardew Valley to take over the farm, start rebuilding it, and begin producing crops to sell to the townfolk. The game was released in 2016 and developed by just one person, Eric Barone, also known as Concerned Ape. He took inspiration from Story of Seasons, and this is not just some regular run-of-the-mill farming sim, it is so much more. The game is extremely relaxing, and yes, you can if you want just stick to building your farm, growing crops to sell to the rest of the town, but everything else in the game is where the fun really is to be had. There are mysteries to uncover, and the more time you spend exploring, the more interesting things you will find to do. There are different types of weather. For example, if it's raining, you don't need to worry about watering your crops. You can instead spend your day fishing, mining, killing monsters, building relationships, getting married, having kids, or upgrading tools and items for your farm. There are also special seasonal events that all of the town attend, which are based on the in-game seasons. There's the Egg Festival, the Festival of the Winter Star, and the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. There are mysteries to uncover, and it even has a big, air quotes, evil corporation, the JoJo supermarket, that could put all the small shops and local farms out of business. The soundtrack again is great and very relaxing. I mean, just listen. Stardew Valley really is a game that is still fun after hundreds of hours. I've already played it for hundreds, and I know I will play it for hundreds more. Now, down at number 8, we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is one of those games where you constantly seem to find something new, fun, and interesting to do, whether that be optional bosses, hidden dungeons, or collecting Korak seeds for that amazing prize. There are multiple puzzles to solve, a vast world to explore, and a rich and innovative gameplay. Not only is the game beautiful to look at, especially for a Switch game, I mean, look at it, but you have so much to keep you entertained. There is the Ultra Hand ability, allowing you to build items from things around you. It starts off simple, a ramp or a boat, but the better you get, the more you can build. I have spent multiple hours just building ridiculous vehicles. Some of the things people have built with this are amazing. You can build carts, planes, boats, and mechs. This aspect adds a truly unique layer of creative freedom and multiple ways to solve problems in the game world. Or you can just have fun building the most ridiculous vehicles you can imagine. There is also an auto build feature which allows you to quickly assemble previously built vehicles if the necessary parts are nearby. It all combines to add another layer of traversal and combat to the game, which already had an amazing foundation with the previous game Breath of the Wild. The game has a mixed narrative, weaving in elements from previous games, adding to the history of Hyrule, as well as new characters that is great for both newcomers and long-time Zelda fans. Next, down at number 7, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is widely regarded as one of the best RPGs ever made, and for very good reason. It's more than just an exploration monster slaying game. The story is deep and engaging. You play as Geralt of Rivia searching for his adopted daughter Ciri. The story is packed with complex characters, impactful decisions, and the moral choices you make have an impact on how the story plays out. This adds a layer of replayability, as you can play again and make different choices and decisions to see how the story plays out. The game has a massive open world filled with life and incredible detail. It perfectly fits that realm of being magical but also believable, and the whole world really does seem lived in. It has mythical creatures, major cities, swamps, magic. The world truly is unique, interesting and immersive. Aside from the main story or questline, the side quests are also diverse and compelling. There are Witcher contracts where you'll be tasked with tracking and hunting down specific monsters such as griffins and wraiths. These fights are both diverse and challenging. There are treasure hunts, there's horse racing, and there's even a card game called Gwent. All of this combined with the amazing writing, stunning visuals, and 2 massive expansions, Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine, which give you a whole new region of content to explore and more creatures to take down, give this game hundreds of hours of deep and varied gameplay that is truly immersive. You really will be invested in Geralt and his adventures. Now, down at number 6 we have Baldur's Gate 3. Now this one is cheating slightly because you can complete the game in around 70 hours, but that's just following the main quests. If you take into account completing everything that game has to offer, then Time to Beat has this around 300 hours. Anyway, Baldur's Gate was released in 2023 and developed by Larian Studios. I have added it to the list for many reasons, the main one being the branching past storylines, meaning the choices you make in game actually have a significant impact on the story, making multiple playthroughs different every time. The game has gone above and beyond with this. Usually games that have this many choices and branching paths are just a text box choosing your option and a text box response from the characters around you related to which decisions you make. This wasn't good enough for the maniacs at Larian Studios, as they actually took the time to fully animate every cutscene in the game. Not only that, but every dialogue line in the game is fully voice acted, giving a level of immersion regarding the choices you make not really seen on this scale before. It actually has around 2 million lines of dialogue and around 174 hours of cutscene, all fully animated and all fully voice acted. It has a backstory for each character, massive amount of exploration, and secrets for you to find along the way. The tactical combat is based upon the Dungeons & Dragons rule set, which is both challenging and rewarding. On top of all that, the game is visually stunning and really does deserve its spot on this list. Bonus note here, it is the first game in history to win 5 awards at the TGAs. Well done Larian Studios. Moving on to number 5, I have GTA 5. I mean, how can I do a list of games you can play for hundreds of hours and still have fun without mentioning, for a lot of people, the GOAT of all fun games, GTA 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is set in the fictional city of Los Santos. The game has you play between 3 different characters, all with their own personalities, histories and backstories. There's Michael, a former bank robber and career criminal who fakes his death to live a happy life with his family. Franklin, a street gangster who's looking for ways to make more serious money and feels he is surrounded by morons. And finally Trevor, a drug-dealing, gun-smuggling criminal with psychopathic tendencies. I won't give away too much of the story here, but they all end up working together and things go sideways fast. The game has a mechanic where you can play as all 3 characters and can switch between them at the press of a button. Playing the 3 different characters makes the gameplay varied and fun. They all have their own unique qualities, different friends groups, different abilities, stories and side quests. The city of Los Santos is massive and you are free to basically do whatever you want. You want to steal a sports car and take it for a joyride? Go for it. You want to buy a bazooka from a gun shop and start blowing things up? Sure thing. This combined with the side missions and main story give you hundreds of hours of fun, and you can spend that amount of time just messing around in the city and causing carnage if you so wish. There's a reason why this game is 11-year-old and still played by millions of people. Now down at number 4, I have GTA Online. Yep, this one might be cheating, but it deserves its own spot on this list for good reasons. GTA Online is one of the most popular online games ever made. It nets Rockstar around $500 million a year from microtransactions alone. Yes, million, that isn't a mistake. There is a constant stream of updates keeping the game fresh and exciting. There are heists, land, sea and air races, you can run and operate businesses, join biker gangs, take part in combat scenarios and death matches. You can explore the city in cars, jets and even dive and explore underwater. You can customise your character's hair, their clothes, you can customise their car and properties, making the game feel unique and personal. There are missions exclusive to GTA Online that aren't in the offline version of the game. It has massive social aspect too. You can play with friends, meet new people and plan and execute elaborate heists. There are also many places to visit in GTA Online. There's a casino and resort where you can gamble and even own a penthouse suite. You can own a nightclub, host parties and run an underground business. There's even an arcade where you can play classic games and use as a front for your criminal operations. So, in the unlikely event that you run out of things to do in GTA 5 after playing for hundreds of hours, then jump into GTA Online and you'll have what feels like an endless supply of things to do. Now, moving on to number 3, we have Minecraft. Minecraft was officially released in 2011 and has remained a favourite among gamers and streamers ever since. It offers a blend of creative freedom and exploration. On paper this sounds like, well, not a game. You start in a random procedurally generated world and you are left to make your own fun. The success of this game really lies in the YouTubers and streamers making videos, creating their own narratives and worlds. People have recreated famous landmarks, and then with the addition of redstone, which allows you to do basic code, people have managed to make games within the games, such as Pokemon Red that was created back in 2017 by YouTuber Mr. Squishy. It took him way more than 100 hours though. He worked on the project for around 21 months. It is a game with endless amounts of hours of gameplay, with complete freedom to do whatever you want. The community is really the thing that keeps it going, whether that be through mods or through challenges they set themselves, such as building the Netherlands in Minecraft Netherlands. The creative freedom of this game is truly unrivaled, and it has inspired many of the survival and building mechanics in games ever since, and for the impact it made, it truly deserves its spot on this list. Now, down at number 2, we have Fallout New Vegas. There are a number of Fallout games I could have put on this list, but I think Fallout New Vegas is the one that's still fun to play after 100 plus hours. Many Fallout fans say this is the best game in the series, and they're right. The game takes place in the Mojave Desert. It's a perfect blend of grit and glamour. Las Vegas, once a city of excess, now lies in ruins and you're smack dab in the middle of it. You have a great main questline where your choices do actually matter in the battle for the control of the New Vegas wasteland. This means there are multiple endings and lots of reasons to replay and try and aim for a different ending. But it's not just about survival, it's about choices. The main quest isn't a straight path, it's a winding road. Will you side with the New California Republic, Caesar's Legion, or forge your own path? Your decisions will have a knock-on effect to every part of the desert. The different factions all have their own agendas, unique quests and rewards. There are mutated enemies to fight, multiple secrets to uncover and many items to craft. If all that isn't enough, there is a survival mode which you have to manage hunger, thirst and sleep, adding an additional layer of challenge to the game. There is also a massive modding community and hundreds of mods for the game that can significantly change the gameplay, giving the game even more replayability and an extra layer of customization to the type of game you want to play. Fallout New Vegas is how Fallout should be done, and in my opinion a must play, and multiple times, with 4 major expansions, Dead Money, Old World Blues, Honest Hearts and Lonesome Road, which add new locations and even more complexity to the wasteland. It is no longer a game, it's a dusty, irradiated playground just waiting for you to come and explore it. Now finally at number 1 we have Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, it had to be Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 is considered a masterpiece, and I agree. Firstly, the world building in this game is beyond anything we have seen before, or since for that matter. Every detail in this game has been meticulously crafted in an immense amount of detail. The world seems lived in and alive, and you actually feel like you are there. From the realistic weather patterns to the diverse wildlife, every detail contributes to a living, breathing environment. The game features a complex ecosystem where animals hunt, forage and interact with each other. This dynamic environment makes the world feel alive and constantly changing. The world transitions smoothly between different environments such as dense forests, massive deserts and snowy mountains. There are what feels like endless activities, random encounters and secrets to find. This adds massively to this game's replayability. The storytelling is extremely engaging too. You play as Arthur Morgan, part of the Van der Linde gang, trying to find somewhere to settle down after a botched robbery. The gang are under constant threat of law enforcement tracking them down, as well as other gangs they have had issues with in the past. Throughout the story you get to make moral choices that attract with an in-game honour meter. You can go fishing and hunting, where you have to track animals and kill them cleanly to get the best quality carcass, so you can then sell the skins, cook the meat, and craft materials with the items you take from these dead animals. You also have to make sure the camp on you are staying have enough money and food to help them survive. There are UFOs, ghost trains, vampires, a serial killer, treasure hunt, shootout, poker, blackjack and many more. It would take me hundreds of hours just to list all the things you can do in this game, and none of it is repetitive or boring. The gunplay in this game is also extremely satisfying. The Dead Eye mechanic, where the world slows down, simulates the old showdown styles you saw in every cowboy movie ever made. The game is also visually stunning. Even now, the game is 6 years old and it's still one of the best looking games around. They use photogrammetry to scan real world objects and environments to make every little detail as realistic as possible. This, combined with the realistic animal behaviours and the way everything in the world reacts like it would in real life, footsteps in the snow and mud, or the way the trees sway in the wind, all come together to make one of the best looking games ever made. You will never get tired of this game, and even now people are still finding new secrets or little details that were previously never seen. Red Dead Redemption 2 is hundreds of hours of fun and immersive gameplay. There is a reason why nobody makes cowboy games anymore, and that reason is Red Dead Redemption 2. It truly is a masterpiece in every sense of the word. So there we have it, 10 games you can play for hundreds of hours and still have fun. Thanks for watching. This is my very first video, so I look forward to your feedback. If there's any I missed, please let me know down in the comments and I'll make a part 2. Please like this video, it's the best way to support me. I'm going to be uploading 2 or 3 times a week, and the best way not to miss any is to subscribe. I'll catch you here next time on Gamers Core.